How about that? How's that? Okay, hold on. Let me back this down a little bit. We're gonna have to. So, all right, we're gonna start. Let me know if we got audio now. Let's just start over the countdown again. What do you say? We're just gonna. Yeah, we'll go back to it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. But let me know. I can't hear anything. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear it. But we're just gonna start over for you. Mike Anderson here with the 1% Solution and Living Motion Monograms. Today we're gonna be talking about the. Now I'm all flustered. One little thing happens. No microphone volume. Okay, better. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about, though, the Tools 3.0 disc and the download that we offer with the 1% Solution. And I don't think a lot of you guys realize how much of a system we've put together for you guys in order to maximize the efficiency, maximize what it is that you can use this this truly a tool for. With your clients, with your events, in order to maximize the amount of money that you guys can make for your events, especially if you're offering some of these, not just monograms. I'm telling you, okay, this disc is packed with a lot of great tools that you can use for your events in order to offer to help create some really incredible moments for your clients. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. We got everybody chiming in on the chat. I really appreciate it. Michael, as always, great to see you here. Frank Rins. We got some new people also in the chat, some of the new subscribers. Really appreciate that as well. Frank, thanks so much for joining us. Mr. Music DJ Photo Booth, I appreciate you being here. And chime in on the chat. Let me know if you are here. If you guys cannot see the chat, it is because you got to log into Facebook, either on your iOS device or something with the app, or just go to facebook.com. Make sure you log in with your login information. That way you guys can see the chat. You can join in on the fun and ask questions as we continue. So hopefully you guys had a great weekend and full of fun events. I usually always start these streams off by sharing something with you guys. This weekend, it was just another incredible moment. That's all I can say. The good news is I've got some video to show you guys of it. And for this, it was, it goes to show it's really nice to be able to learn the stuff that I'm kind of teaching you guys in these tutorials and these videos and stuff. And, if you haven't already, subscribed to the channel so that you guys get this content. You can learn how to do some of these things. It's all free content. I mean, better your education, learn how to do some of this stuff so that you guys can be ready at your events. This is a prime example of, I think, the true definition of what the 1% is all about. And it was, in case, a lot of you guys may not know this, but the whole concept behind the 1% solution is not just to make everything just 1% better, at a time, but it's to take every little aspect of the event, making each of the little aspects 1% better in order to get a much, much better result, more than 1% better result in the overall event itself. And this is just one of the little things that we were able to do in order to, apply that concept to the event. And now for this, it was when I arrived at the event, even after talking with parents, I mean, Mom was there for our meetings. She knew what we had in plan. Maybe she couldn't tell me about it, but we also talked on the phone and stuff. But this was a big, big surprise. The sister of the bride, who is also the maid of honor, and I apologize about the noise here, but I'm going to adjust this here. Horrible. Let me turn this off. Turn the mic down while I do this so I don't blow your guys' eardrums out. Bring this back up for you. All right. So the sister who was the maid of honor had actually contacted the artist who was the artist of the song that they chose for their first dance. And the original idea was to try and get him to come out and sing their first dance song on their wedding day. That didn't, you can imagine that didn't end up happening. I know it would be nice, but artists tend to have a little bit of a busy schedule there. And let's see, for those of you guys joining us on on the chat here. If for some reason you do notice some sound issues, just let me know. There we are. Okay, so we have everybody up. And so for this, when I arrived, the sister and mom came up to me and said, "So we have this thing. We want to see if you can pull this off or not." And what happened was the artist had sent in a video, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard the song. I mean, if you're into country, or have anybody heard the artist Cafe sings the song "Better Today"? It is an incredible song. Truly is. The words are. I think this is going to be one of the hottest new First Dance songs because it has some great content in the lyrics. And so that's what they chose for their First Dance song. And sister and mom got the chance to contact the artist and get him to actually record a message for him. So they came to me and said, "We have this recording." I go, and it was video. I said, "So what do you have? Do you have it on this memory stick or something?" "No, I just have an email." Okay. So what I ended up having to do is actually, plug in my computer, get internet access with my phone, have her email me the link, download the video. And now there's two things we could have done. They wanted me to play this right before the first dance, which would have been great. Now, but what if we didn't have video there? That's one of the reasons I always carry a projector, because I would rather be able to make this moment happen and create this moment and have some kind of projector there to make something like this happen, and not charge the clients for a projector rental because it was a surprise, than to just go, well, I can play the audio, but we don't have anything to play the video on. So I think, having the tools there in order to be able to make these kind of last minute things happen would be pretty incredible. But in this case, we're lucky enough that we were using a projector to do Monogram, and it was going to be on a screen right behind the head table. So it was like the perfect setup to make this happen. And what I ended up doing was actually tossing the video clip into Sony Vegas, doing what you guys have probably seen before, where we do kind of a little, music loop of if we're adding in vows or toasts or anything, like, for example, like our farewell ideas at the end of the night, or for the first dance, or voiceover recordings. But instead, what I did is I was able to implement the video itself. I'm done talking. I'll done talking with this. What I'll do is I'll just show you guys how this ended up turning out. But listen to this and just see how incredible this moment was for the two of them. What I did is I actually got, instead of getting video footage of what it looked like to the guest point of view, we actually did video footage of just the bride and groom to catch their reaction on this. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Now tonight, Kelsey and Julian share their first dance together as husband and wife with one of their favorite songs, entitled "Better Today" by Cafe.
Hello, Kelsey. Hi, this is Cafe. And I have been talking with Kayla and Julian. We were trying to organize me to come in and sing for your first dance because they love you so much. My schedule would not permit it. But I wanted to tell you, God bless you guys with health, happiness, prosperity, fertility. I just pray that God blesses you with so many years of happiness and made me better today. So I wish I could be there. So congratulations. You guys are pipers. How cool is that? I wish I could be there, but God bless you with many years of happiness, okay? Take care. See you.
And really, I mean, to all the guests, and you can just tell that how much it meant to the bride and groom, and how cool is that? First off, hats off, big applause to Cafe for actually, taking the time to do that. How much it means to people when they pick that song, or your song for their first dance, something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives, for their first dance, and how much that means to the couple. And for him to take the time to even just record a little message for him, it's going to mean the world to them, and a chance to be able to do that for them, that's incredible. So I wish I could say, hi, it was all my idea and stuff, but this was all maid of honor and the mom and her sister, maid of honor, and I just kind of implemented it into a better presentation. So instead of just playing that and having dead silence or something, it was a segue into the first dance. And, you know, the way I set this up too, because again, there's so much stuff going on in the wedding day. And Randy and I were just talking about this with one of his events where, you know, he was doing a personal recording where mom and daughter were actually dancing. And no matter what he didn't seem to do and say on the microphone, where it was like, you know, so he's like, okay, Linda, this song was specifically specially recorded and edited for you. So listen, Linda, if you listen really closely, you'll notice this isn't something that you've heard before. So listen very closely. And the moral of the story is, you know, 5 days later, he gets a call from mom going, could you send me a copy of that recording? There's so much going on. I think I missed it and I want to hear it. And he's like, you missed it because you were ignoring everybody. But, you know, that's how a wedding day sometimes can be. It overloads people. There's a lot of stuff happening and people are put in the spotlight. So, you know, the way I set this up is just before, you know, the first dance, I went up to him and I just talked to him and said, hey, when we get started, I want you to go, and I told him where to go out on the dance floor. I had a little mark out there. And I said, do me a favor, just start the first dance. See where the monogram is? I want you guys to pay close attention to that. Just, you know, if you don't mind, you know, make sure you don't forget about that and just kind of watch that for a second right off the bat when I introduce you guys. And it just hopefully instill in their mind that like, okay, so we'll look that way. You know, and I had a photographer up there, and that's the other thing is going to be really important when you do some of these, you know, new ideas and stuff. Talk with the photographers, talk with the videographers, because before we went into the first dance, one of the things I said was I told them about the stuff that was going to be happening. And I said, you guys have 2 shooters. So I'm going to suggest something. You can do it any way you want. And I told them about the idea, what was going to happen. And I said, so the bride and groom are going to be looking at the screen when this happens. I think it's going to be a really cool moment to be able to get a photo of their reaction. So you may want to be up on the stage. One of you might want to be up on the stage and capturing those reactions from them. And, you know, they had no idea some of this stuff was happening, but, you know, letting them know ahead of time, they can be in the right place at the right time. And, you know, I just doing it in a way where, you know, I'm not telling them how to do their job, but, you know, being able to give them that advice so that they're not down on the floor and they never ever see the bride and groom's face when those great moments happen. So I want to welcome you guys again. We're going to get back into our Tools 3.0. Thanks for letting me share that moment with you guys. And if you guys are in our live chat today, make sure you chime in. If you already have the tool, do me a favor. If you have the Tools 3.0 disc, you know, let me know in the chat just so I know how many people have it or how many people want it. If you don't have it and you're kind of more interested in it, would greatly appreciate it. Now we are going to be giving a giveaway today. If you guys are just joining us, and the way you can enter the giveaway, pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and do it with the all you have to do is 2 different things. I want you to hit that subscribe button. Actually, there's 3 things you got to do to enter to win the Tools 3.0. Number 1, hit the subscribe button. If you've already done that, you're already set up. Number 2, next to the subscribe button is a little bell. Hit that bell. That's going to let you know when we go live so that you don't miss those live streams. It's just going to give you a little notification or an email. And number 3, leave a comment in the comment section below the video. It says, I want Tools 3.0. And that will enter you to win the Tools 3.0. Now we're going to we're going to give this 7 days next Monday on our live stream. We're going to be announcing the winner, and we will do that live so that you guys can all see and do a little random number generator thing that we usually do in order to fairly pick our winner. So kind of to get started, one of the first things you guys do if you do purchase the Tools 3.0 is that you're going to go ahead and download the zip file that I give you guys a link to. It's not a disc. Usually when we sell this thing at the conventions, I may give you an empty case just so you can hold on to it, kind of a proof of purchase. Anybody orders it online, I've got your guys' proof that you are an official tools owner for future updates. And that's one of the unique things with the tools disc is that when you order it, yes, the price does go up every time we add more monograms into it. But once you are a tools owner, anytime that there is an update, all you have to do is I'm going to make an announcement. I'm going to add the updates to the Dropbox folder itself, but also put an announcement in the like on Living Motion's Monograms Facebook page, just so that you guys know as well, to bring in your attention that there are new updates, there are new monograms, or new whatever the update may be. Right now I'm working on some new promotional photos and stuff for you guys of those monograms templates at events so that you guys can use those for your promotional materials, which we'll get into here in a second. But also, you guys in the chat, don't forget, if you want, what you have to do is, you keep putting, I want tools 3.0. Put that in the comment section below the video, not necessarily in the live chat itself. But what I want to know is if you have the tools 3.0 disc in the live chat, so I can see who's got it and who doesn't. But the way the tools 3.0 disc came about was actually from one of our first discs that Randy and I did together, and that was volume 5, this little puppy right here. How'd they do that? 1% solution. So this is volume 5. This is actually the training DVD that shows you how to do some pretty incredible things for your events. Like we talked about projecting monograms, but we also talk about how to do other things like the low-lying cloud effect for, first dance, simple slideshows, music and voice, editing and mixing. We show you with screen capture software how to actually mix with either like Sony Vegas with creating audio and video montages, and then we also show you how to use the other software, which is it's the one I don't use. It's basically the Adobe video editing software that they now implement. So, but we talk about also how to do the shadow entrance with this, and projecting background, stuff like that. So there's all kinds of things that we train you how to do on this disc. But then people were saying, well, I want to be able to implement these, but I don't have the time, or I don't really want to put all the work into making my own designs and stuff right now. Is there anything you have that can get us started really quick? And that's where we came out with our little tools disc. And so what this did is this gave you the tools you needed in order to get this going right away. Implement these ideas into your events right away. So when you download the tools disc itself, first thing you want to do is go ahead and right click on it. Mac's going to be a little bit different, but we're working on PC today. And we're going to go ahead and unzip this. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and double click on it. We're going to find our extract all and hit extract. So while that is opening up, Ian, great to see you here. Comments aren't enabled. Okay. Well, I you know what? Let me see if I can fix that while we are downloading this as well. I'm sorry about that. We'll get that fixed too. All right. So yeah, we may have to wait just until after, and I'll remind you guys right at the end just to leave that comment on there when we get done. So now we've got this thing opened up. We're going to close these. That is our zip file. One of the things I recommend, just you might want to save that somewhere, because then it's an untouched one. If for some reason you make changes to templates, it's always nice to have that zip file ready to go in case you want to reset everything. So we got our tools master download. We're going to open this up. And when I send you an invite with Dropbox in order to download this, I'm going to send it to the same email address that I send the Dropbox invite to. So check your email, check your spam, just make sure it doesn't get lost. Or you just go to dropbox.com, log in with that email address. Sometimes it requires you to just kind of start an account, a free account, by the way, in order to access that link and sometimes it doesn't. So you might want to just kind of check on that, and always just email me if you have any issues. I'm going to make sure you guys are taken care of. So we're going to go ahead and open up our file here. And the first thing we always do is a couple things. We've got our, read me first. This is going to let you know exactly what, how to install the fonts on your system itself. But I'm going to show you right now. First, you can go into Monograms here, and we're going to go into Monogram fonts. You're going to see them all listed out here. And the easiest way to do this is just go ahead and open up a file. We're going to select our C drive, which is going to be for our system here. Whatever your system operating system is on. Open up that Windows folder there and look for fonts. Once we have fonts open, this is as simple as you can hit Control-A, select them all, and drag them into this folder here. Now, for me, what it's going to say here is, well, it's not going to let me. Oh, there we go. It's already installed. Do you want to reinstall this? I can hit no, and it's going to do that pretty much for all of them. So you may have some of the fonts already on your system, probably will. And if it says it's already installed, you can go ahead and hit, you do want to install it, just hit no, and it'll go to the next one. So that's the fastest and easiest way to install all the fonts right away. And then do that on any system you're going to be possibly making edits to your templates, or if you have one, for example, if you have a laptop you're going to be using, add events just to have there as backup. And then we're going to go back to our main menu here. And I want to show you guys a couple different things. We've got our video guide here, which is going to just, play a video of...
hey, this is Mike Anderson with a 1%.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Mike, shut up. No. So, we've got that. And this is another explanation, takes you step by step, tells you a little bit about how to do, what I do with sales and everything with clients too. So it might give you some great pointers on how to use it. There are a lot of stuff missing on that. I'm going to redo the video here pretty soon because we've added just so much since this disc has come out. I mean, we think about it, we started with like 20 designs in Photoshop and 20 designs in PowerPoint to get people started. And now we're up to 50 designs plus another 10 designs in motion monograms. So our next step is going to be, let's go to the top file here, audio samples. Now this is samples for you guys. Remember, this is a tool. This is the tools disc for volume 5. And so there's a lot of other stuff besides monograms that we do in volume 5, like voiceover recordings. And what we do is we give you some tools here that you can use to show your clients some of the differences in what you do as far as, or if you want to use them to practice with. Now we've got edited and unedited versions of, for example, well wishes. For like this one.
From Gainesville, Florida. And what an honor that this is to participate in this wonderful, joyous occasion, even from a long distance. I'm so excited for both of you as you begin your own journey.
As you can see, it's 1:40. That was the message that was sent to us from, from this guest. Now, the edited version is going to show you
Hi, Bob and Joy.
the difference. And this has been, another 30 seconds taken, another 30 seconds of it taken off in order to take out any of the the pauses, skips and stuff. And usually you can make that even shorter as well. You can also, use these to practice putting them into songs, to be able to show your clients some of the things that you can do. Voiceover recordings, we show you first dance, just some of the audio recordings you can use for editing, and it'll have examples here that you can. I'm not going to play the songs because of copyright with YouTube, but custom live finale mix. You always wonder what we do for finales. This is going to give you an example of how powerful it can be for the end of the night. First parent stances, also suggestions, father, daughter, mother, son, in memory of 50th anniversary. All kinds of samples to give you guys ideas, inspire you on what you can do for your own events. Let's see. Okay, so one of the things I also did is in here, you're going to see like motion monogram CS6 version. And it's because our motion monograms, there's 2 templates in there, 6 and 10, that are done in After Effects. Now, not everybody has the latest version of After Effects, and if you don't, then they don't open up. If you're using, After Effects, one of the older versions. So I put this folder in here. These are the CS6 versions, which is one of the first ones. And so that no matter what, if you do have After Effects, you should be able to use those as well. You just may not be able to use the other versions that are in the actual motion monogram. This motion monograms folder. So we're back at the main menu here. We've got a little template sheet I'll drag over here. This shows you 32 different designs. And I haven't updated this because I've implemented a new tool for you. So we don't really have to worry about that anymore. Let's go dive into our monograms folder here. First folder we got is just a bunch of HD backgrounds that you guys can use if you want to use them for breakup patterns or for monogram designs, if you want to add them to other monograms templates that we have in the folders. We've also got, we already covered monogram fonts. We've got monogram samples. Now what this is just JPEG images. And the JPEG images themselves, excuse me, are the just the images of all the different designs. So 1 through 50. This is like one of those folders you could either grab these, toss them on a memory stick and let them roll through your projector. You know, add a bridal show or something if you want to show examples. Have them on your computer to show examples of the different designs. Obviously, you know, it says template 27 will be template 27 on your, make these bigger here. So template 27 or any one of these numbers is going to correspond with the Photoshop templates. Now, some people get a little confused with this. Do not try and open one of these up in Photoshop. You can, but it's just going to be a JPEG image, so you cannot edit these. Keep that in mind. Once you know the number, then that's when you can go into our Photoshop templates folder and then just open up that number in Photoshop. Now, any version of Photoshop will work for this as well. Okay, so we have also got some motion loops that you guys can use if you are doing video monograms. And we've got some other tutorials on available on our channel here on some of the different ways you can implement that. We'll also be doing a new series here pretty soon and adding to that by using, like, showing you how to use Sony Vegas. It just takes time. Then we'll keep adding videos for you guys. Keep up the content. And then we've got, you know, PowerPoint templates. If you're using PowerPoint, this has a folder in it which is backgrounds, and the backgrounds themselves are basically kind of the different style effects that we used in some of the other designs, so that you can just add those in. You just wouldn't be able to move them around like you can in Photoshop. And that's why I think it's really important just to learn the basics of Photoshop. And we teach you exactly, you know, like I said, I'm adding new content all the time. We've got our introductories already uploaded on our YouTube channel for you guys, and that will show you just the basics of either Photoshop CC 2017 or Photoshop Elements. We've got that up there as well. So check those out, and we'll have playlists for each one of those. And style graphics. Style graphics is going to be one of those things where you can see here, we'll open up Photoshop. And these are just fun design tools that you can add to existing templates or ways you're making your own. And then all of these are individually put on here. So we've got, everything is numbered from basically from the top left to the bottom right, as you would read. And so if I wanted the first one, then I would just find number 1. And if we wanted to change, for example, the color, well, I put a color overlay on here. You can just click this and basically change the color of that to anything you're using for your monogram designs. And then being able to just drag this onto the project that you're working, and then resizing it to whatever you want. So we've got that. That selected both of them. Come on. See if we can just move one here. There we are. And so there's just some kind of creative tools that you guys can use as well for your designs. All right, we want to welcome Howie in here. Ian, thank you so much for being here. We've got, you know, any questions you guys have, toss them in the chat. I promise you, we will be getting into there as well. Will the new monograms be on Pick My Monogram site? They are already on there. All 50 of them are on there, and I'll show you guys that. In fact, here in just a second. Where is, back to our folder here. Here we are. Style graphics. And then I've also got one in here that's frames. And so sometimes we like to frame in our designs, you know, for the wall itself. And then I've also got a thing in here which is font examples, some of the most popular ones. These aren't all the fonts that are on the disc itself, but sometimes if clients want a quick sheet to be able to look at and see what font they like, I'll be adding more of those tools as well. But I also have the Photoshop file in there, so if you open that up, you can add maybe your favorite fonts as well into this and see, continue the little cheat sheet for your clients in order to pick out the fonts that they like. So once you have the clients pick, the next step is going to be, how do we get our clients to pick the monograms? First thing I do is, when it comes to sales, again, there's another video, check it out in our channel as far as the easy sale and how I let the ideas themselves sell themselves for clients. And we talk about how, before a meeting comes up, I always, make sure we know the client's names, we know their wedding date, and if there's any, themes to the event or colors. And I usually just toss in and do a quick, grab one of these font or one of these designs that might work for their event, and just be able to change the text, change the names, and then usually I'll have that up on the screen in the office as they walk in, just as a little surprise to them, because they'll usually ask about it, and then it'll give me an opportunity to tell them that that's one of the options that they have, with my service. So we've got those. And let me also show you guys how easy it is. I mean, once you know the design, you open up the file, you find the text, sometimes it's labeled as first name, or it'll be labeled by William or Katrina or something like that, or Stephanie. And then with that, you can just double click on it. You change the names. Oops. There we are. Change it to whatever you want. And then just save it. Save it as a JPEG, or however you'd like to save it for your events. Don't forget to change the name, because if you save it as the same file name as if you're saving it as a Photoshop file, it's going to overwrite the other one, and then it'll always be changed. And you probably want to keep your disk kind of fresh so that it doesn't you don't end up having the issue of it being something getting changed and not realizing it. So if we save that to our desktop, and if I bring this stuff down, now we've saved this, and what I do is before I meet with clients, I go up to the top and I just say, you know what, I right click on the image, and we're going to set as desktop background. And at that point, what'll happen is it'll just change it, and that way, whoa, yeah, you may have to make a little adjustment here. Picture, that's why. Okay, so we're gonna fit in there. Now, while I'm working with clients, they get to see a great their own great monogram there on the wall, or at least on the desktop of the computer where we are working on together during the consultation. So what are some of the other ways that clients can actually pick out their monograms? Well, we set up a great website for you to use. And the first one I'm going to show you guys is kind of for professionals. And that's, of course, livingmotionmonograms.com. Now here, you're going to see a couple different things. You're going to see, at the top, you can click on static monograms. And this is where maybe right now you're not ready to, implement how to design these monograms yourself. And you're still just learning. And until then, I make it easy to where if you want, you can actually just have the clients pick out the design they want. And for $20, I get everything ready. I make the edits. I send you a proof. Once it's approved, I send you all the final designs as JPEG and JPEG and PNG files, and so you have both just in case. But one of the things that I do that I don't think anybody else does, I also send you the Photoshop file, and so that you can start to build up your library. I want you to be able to eventually do this yourself. You won't have to rely on someone else in order to do these designs. And that's my overall goal. My goal is to put myself out of business when it comes to designing monograms. I know you guys can do this, okay? I know it may take time. It may, and as you get more time, or as you start to develop your skills in this, you're going to be, even a lot more happier. But until then, if it is you need some assistance, then you can always be able to just go here, pick out and purchase the designs. Yes, there's prices on this, and it says Living Motion Monograms. And so I wanted an alternate version of this for you guys to be able to access. And right here on the site, it shows you the link. So Pick My Monogram is the link that you send your clients to. Now, this is an unbranded site. They can come in here. You'll notice that just basically it's very generally worded. Lets them know that, you can browse. If you like one of the designs, but would like something changed, such as text color or font, or would like to have a custom monogram made to match another design you like, you can always email us. And so again, email us examples of what you'd like created and have our design team be able to create it for you. And we'll give you a quote based on your ideas. So again, it's going to get them to email you. What you're going to do is send me that information. I'm going to give you a quote, and you charge whatever it is that you want to do for the custom design. And for example, like again, some people know you can do the simple Photoshop stuff, but they not sure how to do video yet, and so they just have me do the video stuff. And I send, again, the same exact way. If clients come in here and they go, "Ooh, we want motion monograms," any of the motion monograms, I prepare all the files for you guys. And send you over the final, I send you a proof to send to the clients, and then send you the final video file as well, all through your email address. And that way you can still have, you're adding me as a design team to your company, making things pretty simple there. So Pick My Monograms not only has the static designs on here, they're all labeled the exact same way, 1 through 50. So if client calls you and says, "Hey, we're big Star Wars fans. We want number 46." I'm sorry, it's not Star Wars. It's the space one. Then what you can do is then they're going to tell you 46. You go in, make those edits, send them the proof, or then as the business, then you're going to go into livingmotionmonograms.com, find that one, and just put in the order, $20 for that. And when you do put in the order itself, just make sure you also include the names, the date of the event, first and last names. And, any one of these designs can have the date added or taken off, things like that. It's the same cost. Just let me know in the comments of comment section during checkout itself. So I wanted to give you guys, again, we're going to go back to our clients portal where they can go through here and choose the design they want that's already on your tools disk. You've also got all the motion ones that they can view. And if on the main page, it does tell them that, if they pick one of the motion designs, there's probably going to be an additional charge, but contact us, let us know, and we'll give you a quote on it. And that way you can let them know how much it's going to be extra if you want to offer, motion monograms. All right. We got Alex in the chat here. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us. Appreciate it, buddy. It says, so MC Music says, what percentage of your monograms that you project are done in color versus white only? I do a lot of color. I really do. It's a great option to have. Now, if soon we're going to be doing an episode of little projector busters, where I'm going to be answering questions that people always have when it comes to kind of the myths, whether they're proven or busted when it comes to projecting monograms. Just again, more education for you guys to learn. And when you are dealing with stuff that's when people say you don't need 5,000 lumens to project monograms, it's absolutely right. There's a lot of situations you don't need that much power. You can project a black and white monogram if you're pretty close with the 2,500 lumen projector. And that's, again, one of the reasons why when people ask, like, wow, okay, can you recommend a projector for me? I'm like, what is it that you want to be able to do with it? I don't just go, this is what you have to use. there's so many out there and there's so many options, but I want to know what it is that you want to be able to do with it. And that's what you need to write down first is, you know, do you want to do projection mapping? Do you want to be able to do cake mapping? Do you want to do giant, you know, backdrops on walls, things like that, that are really going to be useful? Do you want to be able to project if there's a lot of, you know, sunlight in the room? Just got another EH515 because I wanted to be able to show you guys how to do image stacking, which I'm working on a video for as well, in order to use 2 projectors, you know, in very bright daylight. And I did it the other day, and wow, it is it's pretty incredible. I now have an 11,000 lumen projector because I'm, you know, stacking the 2 images on top of each other, the 2 projectors, and it was ridiculously easy. It was a little challenging to figure out, I'll be honest with you, but I think that once I show you guys, I could do it again in about 5 minutes when I get to an event. It is so incredibly cool. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that one too. Is coming up as well. Okay, so we've got, let's see here. We've got our Pick My Monogram site that, again, you guys can use. Feel free to, you know, put this link on your website if you want, and have it linked, because again, there's nothing in here that's going to send them over to anybody else's website. Now, the custom designs, I'm going to start showcasing some of the different custom designs here. You know, again, if your clients go, I want a custom design, you can always send me the ideas. I will give you a quote before we start the design work. You send, you know, you basically add on whatever you want to that quote. It's usually very reasonable. Like static designs, it's just based on how much time and effort it's going to end up going into it. But usually it's between 30 and 60 bucks for custom designs on static and motion, usually between 40 and, you know, 70. So, but I also with the static designs, I also, again, give you the Photoshop template. So even when we do a custom design, it's a custom design that you can use in the future as well. Some people also ask, if I do a custom design, is it mine and mine alone? Again, you don't own the rights to it. What I do is I give exclusivity to you, typically for 12 months, and then it may end up, you know, appearing in one of the updates later on. That is, you know, if I'm doing, you know, a complete design rework. So even if there's a design you really like and I have to recreate it, then I can go through and I might put a little, you might end up getting it for a lot less money because, you know, I know that it might be something that I add into a release pack later on. So you don't get charged nearly as much for it. But I may end up putting in like 40 hours into that one design, and you still get the design for like 40 bucks. But just because I know that it might be something we use in the future. So we've got our Pick My Monograms website. We've got our Living Motion Monograms website. The Living Motion page also has equipment suggestions, which show you the videos on the X2 projector mount for mounting your projector up, and information about those discs as well. And we've got a really cool deal going on here, which is if you don't have any of the discs, which is Volume 5 tools, and the projectors DVD, training DVD, you can actually get all of them for $100 off, or $98 off, you know, shipped to you. So you can also check that out. Tips and tricks will also be in here, where you can see some of the concepts when it comes to picking out a projector, things to consider, and some of the different tutorial videos as well that will be added. More will be added here shortly. I just have to update the page itself. Let's see here. All right, and we are back to our download folder here. And we talked about our Photoshop templates. We've got our style graphics and our PowerPoint templates. You can also, one of the things that I also encourage you guys is here under Monogram samples, you guys can also post all these. Like if you want to put these designs on your website as samples and label them the same way, template 20s, you can make your own page on your website which has these samples on there. And you know, if you want to use the if you've got a web designer who can use, I never change the links on, go back here. You'll notice that on Pick My Monograms, these motion monograms themselves, like if you hit share, you can copy this link and actually use that link if you want to, or let's see here, embed this. You can use the embedding tool here. And that's why I've also disabled the Living Motion Monograms logo on these. Now, they still have an opportunity. The catch to it is if you put these videos on your website, you do have the issue of them visiting the Living Motion Monograms Vimeo page. So that is one of those things. If you just want the video samples themselves, you can always email me and I will send you a link to download those separately and maybe put them on your own Vimeo account or own YouTube channel. If you're going to be using them on your website itself, it might help out a little bit. So let's see. Michael says, in Vegas, is there a way to slow the actual motion? If you start to slow down the motion itself, there is a way. And I can kind of show you guys that real quick here. You can see I was just working on that other video. Let's open up a new one here. No, wait. Yeah. All right. So if we were to go to our desktop and open up our Tools Master, I go into our motion monograms and pick one of these out. So we've got our blue effect and our template 8. Now remember, we're working in layers, and so whatever layer is on top is going to cover everything up. I'm going to bring this over here so you guys can see this as well. This is our preview window. So in order to see the monogram, we have to actually drag our monogram on top. Now, if we've got a motion design itself, let me take the monogram off here for a second. And make this larger so you guys can see it. So when you add this in, it's going to show you the overall length itself. And it's going to be hard to see probably for you guys, but right here where this, I'll put a mark. Right there where that one is, that is basically going to, that's going to be the end of the clip. And if I extend it again, what Sony does is it starts the clip over. Some clips are not true loops. And so you may see it stutter when it ends and starts. And you know, if it's a true loop, it will start the same way that it ends. And some of them are, some of them aren't. This one is actually a true loop, but you will see a little stutter until we render it. Now, if we bring this back to the original length, say 1 times through here, and we want to slow it down, one of the things you can do with Sony Vegas is if you hold down the control key, hover over the very end of it, hold down the control key, you can stretch this out. And what that's doing is it's actually extending that clip, but it's going to slow it down because we're not actually starting the clip over. So now it's a lot slower. Some of these clips turn out a lot better than others. Okay. What I mean by that is some of them will look like they're stuttering a lot. Some of them will be very smooth. It just depends on, you know, the design itself and how good quality, or how good the quality is sometimes on the clip, and how fast the motion is really. Let's see if we can find one that doesn't really look good. If we do the same thing with this. Oh, wait a minute, we're not doing it right. Okay, so this is regular time. We'll stop it. I don't think it's still doing it right. Time stretch. I'm going to stretch this way out. There. So it's a little bit jittery there. I mean, it's not horrible, but it is still a little bit jittery. And once you render it, we can do, at least here, we can do one of the options of selectively pre-rendering that video. Oh wait. Tools. Let's Shift M is our shortcut. Okay, that is straight. Now let's try render new track. And it may be just the video size itself. When I render videos out, I'm usually using the Sony 1920 1080. Sometimes I'll use 60 frames per second just so it becomes a little bit smoother. Even YouTube these days is accepting 60 frames per second, and it looks pretty cool, mainly for gameplay. But so now it's a little bit smoother if we slow things down here on this top clip that got added. But you may end up having a little bit of a little jitteriness as well. Yeah, Ian also mentions a great in the chat mentions a great thing is that, yeah, Google, you can Google anything these days and get a lot of help as well. So hopefully, Michael, that answers your question there. Again, guys, if you have questions on how to implement some of these tools, just toss it in the chat there. Also try and check and just make sure you're not messaging me on Facebook in case there are questions there as well. All right. But just in case there. Now, the next thing is I'm going to show you guys. Whoops. Let's go back. Is promotional material that you guys can use. Now, remember what I talked to you guys. This is going to be probably one of the next updates, is more promotional material for you guys to be able to use. Now, the folder that is titled promotional material, right at the very beginning, you also have release of photo rights. We give you guys release here, which allows you to use these on your website. I'm going to ask you, though, just do me a huge favor. When you do use these on your website, please go ahead and put your logo design on there, your watermark, just to protect it. All the tools users that have purchased the disc being able to use these images. And then this has everything from, the dancing on the clouds effects with and without uplighting or other lighting design elements with it. But, just different ideas if you're doing dancing on the clouds. You've also got monogram photos, which show you the different designs. I also toss one in here. This is the old way. People are like, what's this one doing in here? That's the old way that we used to do monograms design, but I want to be able to have a kind of a before and after shot, something you can use for, talking with clients and going, this is how it used to look, and now this is how it looks today, because we do things a little different to give you a much better result. Dance floor on the wall. And how much more crisp and clean this looks. You can talk to them about, like, hey, we're not limited to doing one design all night. Like, for example, this one was, we started with this throughout the night, and then later on in the evening, we changed it up a bit and did just a slightly different design for the last hour of the night. Because the groom could be a huge football fan, or, they've seen the superheroes and put, Batman emblem up there. So again, promotional photos that you guys can use for your website, for your literature, bridal shows. Give you examples of what things can look like on carpet. When people are asking the questions like, do you only do, what percentage of your monograms do you do in color? I do a lot in color, and it doesn't have to be just black and white. But if you have a projector that's not quite, it's for me, I want to have a tool that I can use for any situation. And if I've got, a 3000 lumen projector, I wouldn't be able to do this design with a motion background with color, because the color is just not going to show up. The white's going to show up fine. Or for like, this image here, we got a lot of sunlight coming in this room, and we can still see the red around. And red is really hard to project. So if we could still see the red accent on this design, which you just wouldn't be able to see usually with a projector that's less expensive. If you know you're going to be in a challenging situation, for example, like the carpeting, let's go back to that photo there. A dark dance floor or carpeting like this, then yes, I would strongly suggest steering them towards a more black and white design in order to make it look the best you possibly can, no matter what projector you're going to be using. Because that is projected from, you know, probably about an 11-foot distance with the angle it's at, and with a really bright projector and still shows up really nice in the daylight, but would probably be invisible in most situations with some of the other lower power projector systems. So we've got the promotional material in there. We also have like the promotional material for the shadow entrance. Something that can be done with, you know, and I explain in the projectors volume 7 disc how to do it with projectors. That I call the tool or the shadow entrance 2.0. So I'm going to be adding some of those images as well, and you can just use the motion loops. That's what I do, that are available on the disc for that. And all right. So let me know in the chat if you guys are finding, if I'm teaching you guys new things that you didn't know before when it comes to the Tools 3.0 disc. Again, anybody who is a Tools owner can very easily, you always get the updates for free. And if you want to get those updates, all you have to do is send me a selfie of you and the disc itself to info@livingmotionmonograms.com. And that way I can get you the update, because you should have 50 different template designs. And again, those updates are always free. If you don't have the Tools disc yet, before the next update comes out, make sure it might be a good idea, because every time we come out with an update, more designs, yes, the price does go up on the disc, but once you own the disc, you get all the updates for free for that. But again, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that for the big giveaway itself. All you have to do to enter is just go ahead and leave a comment in the section below. For those of you on the live stream, it'll be available here very shortly. You're gonna have 7 days until next Monday in order to leave a comment of going, I want the Tools 3.0 disc. And so the 3 things you have to do: hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button so that you get those alerts when we go live. And the last thing is leave a comment in the comment section below the video. Not in the chat here, but once it becomes available to comment on, just down below, and say, I want that Tools 3.0 disc. And you will be entered to win the disc, the download itself. So, if you happen to already have the download and you end up winning, then I'm going to, you can gift it to someone, and just, let me know later on who you'd end up wanting to gift it to. And we would get them set up, but I do have to register everybody so that it's not a disc that I can just send out to you. But I appreciate you guys being here for the live stream. I hope this has helped out a lot and giving you guys some new ideas and new ways of you can use the Tools 3.0 disc system, the whole system we got set up for you to be able to, offer these this service to your clients, whether you're ready to design right now yourself, or if you would like us to help you with those designs, and to just get them one at a time as needed for your events. You can always get those at livingmotionmonograms.com. Hey, take a moment to just check us out on the Facebook page and become a family member on our Living Motion Monograms group page. The 1% Solution also has a group page as well. You can ask to be a part of that, and that is more for the performance-based improvements, and it's just a great group. We'll get you guys approved in that group as well. As always, I really appreciate you guys stopping by, checking out the video, and if there's other things you guys want to see done, presented, or ideas you want, tutorials you want made on things, leave them in the comment section below so that we can get them added very soon, and get them added to our YouTube channel here very soon to help you out. because we're always looking for new ideas, so stuff that we can do for our live streams every single Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a great week, and make sure, as always, rock those receptions. Have a blast doing it. I am so thankful that you guys all absolutely love and adore what it is that you guys do for a living, because it makes a difference to your clients. So enjoy. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much for coming by.